Oh, sorry I'm late. There was a big parade in town earlier and I didn't see it coming. Anyway, welcome. I am Mystical Martin and I will predict your future for the small sum of $50.
Oh, it said $40 on the website.
I can sense that you will be a difficult read. I must use all the strength I have.
Okay, sounds fair.
Shall we begin?
Sure.
Oh, good heavens! I can see 10 years into your future. Oh, good heavens. Your baking and painting business is going to collapse.
But I don't have a baking or painting business.
By 2032, you will have had a baking and painting business for 5 years.
But I don't bake or paint.
By 2032, you will have been painting and baking for 6 years.
So in 4 years from now, I start baking and painting.
Correct.
But I'm allergic to flour.
Ah, I see something else in your future.
What is it?
By 2032, you still won't have found a husband.
But I have a husband now.
Oh, him? Oh, right, yeah, he's gonna leave you.
When?
Somewhere between next week and 2025, give or take a few weeks.
What else do you see?
Well, by the time your husband leaves you, your relationship will have reached its worst point, and your husband will have been cheating on you for 6 months.
So if he does leave me next week, that means he's been cheating on me for nearly 6 months now.
Hey, I don't have all the answers.
Do you see anything else?
Ah, yes. There is one more thing. By 2035, you finally will have learned how to drive.
But I drove here.
$50, please. Good morning, good afternoon.
Hold on. Something amazing's happened.
Laura, I know. Wales qualified for the World Cup.
No. We've hit 100,000 subscribers.
What?
Thank you so much for subscribing. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Can you believe it? I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. 100,000 subscribers. 100,000 people.
If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe because there's a lot of people who watch the videos but they can't. I see you on the little list. It says these people watch but they don't subscribe.
80% apparently. 80% of people who watch our videos are not subscribed.
Shocking.
That would mean that if everybody who watches these videos subscribed, we would have
a million gazillion. No, I can't do maths. But thank you so much if you've already subscribed. It honestly means the world. We love making these
like 800,000 subscribers.
Oh, you're still doing that. Thank you so much. We're going to carry on making lots of videos. We need to carry on with this video now, don't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. Back to normal business.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Laura.
And I'm Bez.
And we know that the future perfect tense is really, really difficult.
We're going to teach you how to use it and how not to use it.
So let's get started.
Let's start with how to make the future perfect tense. If you want to make the future perfect tense, this is what you need. Subject plus will have or won't have plus past participle. Hey guys, don't worry. Verbs have 3 forms. Normal, past tense, and past participle. The past participle is the one that we use with the perfect tenses. They're a little bit weird, but don't tell them that. Shh.
Okay, so now you know how to make the future perfect tense, but why on earth would we use it? Let's talk about it. So we use the future perfect tense to talk about actions that will be completed before another point in the future. So if you are really confident with the present perfect tense, this tense should be quite easy for you. If you're not familiar with the present perfect tense, I'll leave the link for our video about it down below. So I want you to imagine a timeline. Hello, I'm in the middle of the timeline. Lovely. So where I am standing is the present day. Present, now, right now. Over here is my future, and over here is my past. So if we were talking about the present perfect tense, we would be talking about things that started in the past but continue up to now. So we might say something like, I have taught for 8 years. But when we talk about the future perfect tense, we are talking about 2 events in the future. 1, 2. The one furthest away, we don't use the future perfect for it. The one nearest to me, we use the future perfect. Let me give you an example. On Monday, I will have been a teacher for 9 years. Wow. Hopefully when I see you next week, Adam will have proposed to you. Ah! So can you see, we're using that future perfect tense to talk about things that will have happened before a deadline in the future. So in a way, imagine that you are sitting on your timeline in the future. You are sat there. You are sat at a deadline in the future, and you are looking back at something that's happened before, and you are treating it like you would treat the present perfect tense. So, next week, I'm here. I look back, oh, Adam has proposed to me. That's lovely. But all we're doing is we are predicting that situation from right now. Oh, by next week, Adam will have proposed to you. That's so exciting. We use the future perfect to make the sequence of events clear. You know, if you don't want to use a word like before or anything like that, we can just use the future perfect so that it's obvious what will happen first, or what we can predict what will happen first before another event.
Okay, so we know when to use it, but let's talk about when not to use it. So, in the future perfect tense, there always needs to be a deadline, even if it's very, very vague. If we don't have a deadline, just use the simple future tense. So, for example, I would never just say this on its own. I will have worked here for 10 years, yeah. So remember, we need to use a deadline. Now, let's learn about how to make the future perfect tense negative. It's pretty easy. Just put the word not between the word will and have. Or, let's be crazy here, let's change it to won't. Don't pick me up at 4. I won't have finished work by then.
Okay, now I have made a quiz based on the most common mistakes I hear my students making with the future perfect tense. Actually, a lot of my students are kind of scared to use the future perfect tense because it kind of melts their brain. So I have made some questions based on the little sketch you saw at the beginning of the video. So don't cheat, don't rewind back to the video, don't do it. Test your knowledge and see how well you do. Okay, first question. Can you tell me the mistake in the sentence I'm about to say? You will have had a painting and baking business for 5 years. What's the mistake? Is there a mistake? What's missing? I'll give you 5 seconds. The deadline, okay? We're missing the furthest away point on the timeline. You will have had a painting and baking business for 5 years. But by when? But what's the furthest point on the end? By 2032. That is the furthest away point that we're talking about. That's our deadline. That's our focus point. In 2032, I can look back and say, oh, I've had a painting and baking business for 5 years. Present perfect. But we're predicting that from now, okay? The deadline was missing. Okay, next question. How do I turn this sentence into a negative sentence? By 2032, you will have found a husband. How do I make that negative? Here's the answer. By 2032, you won't have found a husband. That's the most common way, won't. But we could also say, by 2032, you will not have found a husband. And final question. Which one of these sentences sounds more correct? By the time your husband leaves you, he will have been cheating on you for 6 months. Or, by the time your husband leaves you, he will have cheated on you for 6 months. Now, the answer could be both, but in this situation, the continuous form feels more correct, because if you think about the action of cheating, it's an ongoing thing. He doesn't just do it once, he continues to cheat. It's a continual action. So like with other continuous tenses, if it's something that continues and goes on and on up to a point, use the continuous. So here's my challenge for you. I want you to go back and watch the conversation between the fortune teller and the customer. Get a piece of paper or get your iPad or something, and I want you to draw a timeline of the customer's life. So draw a little line and say, okay, here is where she is right now, and then map her future, okay? And see if you can put all of the different things that he says is going to happen in the right place. Make a little timeline of her life. You should be able to work it out based on when he uses the future perfect and what years he uses. Oh, in 6 years' time this will happen, by 2032. See if you can make a timeline. And that will be a nice way for you to visualize why we use the future perfect tense.
Thank you so much for watching. It means the world.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like.
If you want some private lessons with me or Laura, the link for that is down below.
And if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, you can do so there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!
Ta-ta!